On the first Tuesday of the month, we love to bring you up to date on what are some of the scams that are going around. Try and do all we can to keep you safe. And Megan McBride from the Better Business Bureau always stops by to do just that, keep us safe. And Megan, right now, we've talked about these many times in the past about these phishing attempts that are out there. I mean, they're people that you may do business with, and it's not who you usually do business with, but you've got some imposter on the other end. I am amazed to find out that even the Better Business Bureau is not immune to this.
No, we are not, unfortunately, Hank. Good morning, and thank you for having me on. And you, just like you said, every Tuesday I'm on, but every first of the month I do try to bring the most relevant scams. And part of the reason why I'm bringing this particular one up is because we recently had a scam presentation on August 19th at the Worcester Public Library where we talked about a lot of impersonating scams. And scammers, as we've learned through many of these shows, Hank, they love to impersonate businesses, consumers to, get whatever they want out of the victim. And unfortunately, BBB is on the top 10 list of most impersonated places based on our research. So what happens is scammers, they often pretend to be the BBB so they could steal information and money from businesses and consumers that we help on a daily basis. And this particular story did take place in Canada, but I do have another story where our BBB here in local Worcester was impersonated and we were able to catch it. But this BBB in Canada reported that a phishing email pretending to be from the quote-unquote compliance department asked for sensitive business information such as business licenses, articles of incorporation, other government-issued certificates, tax documents, operating licenses, insurance, all those sensitive documents that has a lot of important info on them. And the Canadian businesses that are working with the Canadian BBB are receiving emails that appear to be from the BBB, but they're actually imposters. And the fake emails are asking businesses for sensitive information like I just listed. And if businesses receive these emails, we are cautioning them to do not open or reply or click on it and report it to your local BBB. Because although this has happened, say in Canada, what happened to us not too long ago is we threw a retirement party for one of our colleagues who was retiring. She had been with the company for a while, and it was her last day on the job, and she received an email saying, hello, person name. But instead of her name, it was like her email chain. So, for example, my email chain is mmcbride@cne.bb.org. And this was like her name.cne. So we knew right there, no reputable business is ever going to address an email with your email as the first name. And it was coming from our HR department. Now, our HR department is run by our finance department, so it's all kind of in one. And she knew that she was not expecting an email from our director of finance. Like, what? Katrina's not sending her some emails right now. So the email stated that she was getting a retirement package, for all her work, and to click here to receive her benefits. Luckily, she did not click here because, that would not be good. It probably would have.
But interesting that they knew enough how they get this information, and they're sending it out to people who there must be some algorithm or something that picks up on if somebody's going to a retirement party or if there's been something that mentions retirement. Mm-hmm. And if you're retiring from a company that has 10,000 people or 500 people, you might not know who's in HR.
Exactly. We were lucky enough for her. She just went right over to Katrina and was like, you didn't send this, did you? And obviously she said no. So it was really interesting how we were able to catch that. And that wasn't the first time we were impostered. When I first started under Nancy, I received a text. This was like my second day of starting at the BBB. Yeah. And I received a text. I didn't even have Nancy's number at this point, saying, hey, can you run down and get me like $500 Apple gift cards for this thing? Again, same situation where we're a small enough office where I just walked right into her office and I was like, did you text me by chance? And she was like, no. And I'm like, okay,
Wow.
well, and we actually played a little game. We did actually respond and say, okay, and just to see how far we could get it to go, because we wanted to actually have a real life case study that we could use in examples like this. And this person was very persistent, and eventually I did stop responding because I knew it was a scam, and we had gotten like the info we needed enough to write an amazing blog post about it to post on bbb.org. But it's crazy, so it's important to not click those links, open those emails, and if you're suspicious of an email, like, trust your gut. Reach out to your head of HR, whoever it may be. In this case, the compliance department, and really see if it is the BBB or if it's.
I think in this day and age, a good rule of thumb is just be skeptical. Just make sure. Just do that, double check. Because as you pointed out, it isn't just that they're after money. Hey, send me, whatever. They really are after that information. And you're a BBB member, and you get something and you go, oh, well, that's kind of funny, but I'm busy with 10 other things and I'm not really thinking about it. Sure, here's my tax document, or sure, here's something else. And then later in the day, you go, that was weird that they asked me for that, that has all that sensitive information on it. Maybe I better check. But of course, by then, you've sent it out to who knows, to who knows who. So yes, keep that eye on it. One thing that I know that Nancy always told me that I'm terrible at, still I need to get better at, is she said, for a lot of companies and things, even if you're just checking your bank statement like once or twice a day, it's very simple to do, and you can start to see if there's any kind of suspicious activity or find it very quickly. I mean, our banks now are so good at texting you if they think there's been some suspicious activity. Sometimes it's like, yes, I want to buy this. Let me do it. And they're there. Well, hold on. We're holding on until you tell us it's okay. But just to check your bank statement more than once a month or once every couple of months is a good thing to do.
And what's really good now, Hank, now that you brought that up, a lot of banks are doing the two cards, a virtual card and a hard copy card. So say you're shopping online, you can have a virtual card number and it's still hooked up to the same bank account. And if you go into a physical store, you have your hard copy of your card. And this happened to me where my virtual card got compromised, and luckily my bank was able to stop the transaction from going through, but I only had to replace my virtual card. I did not have to get a new physical card. And that offers just another layer of protection where it's the same account, but you have two cards, so more security. That's great. Definitely a good thing to have. I'm just looking at this scam. Megan just shot this over to me. So this is what we always say. People go, oh, how did I fall for this? Or, you feel dumb, or you're embarrassed, or you don't want to report it or something. No, these individuals are getting away with this because of how sophisticated they are. And one way we can fight back is to report it to the BBB and to Scam Tracker. But this is, dear representative, we are reaching out regarding your company's BBB business profile. As part of our periodic compliance review, kindly ask you to complete a re-verification of your business. You need to verify your company with the following details. And honestly, that opening is one where I go, that's kind of a pain in the butt, but okay, if you guys need it, then I guess I'll go ahead and do it. It's not something that, makes me immediately suspicious or think this sounds crazy. It's like, I don't know. I guess maybe they do that. Yeah, you would think, maybe we were going to put it on the public profile and we want to update our data to make sure we have good data quality. But again, it's one of those things where you have to be so careful and give us a call. If you are really suspicious, call us, and we are happy to verify if we actually did send that email. Yeah, just make sure it really is from the bbb.org, that the URL, that everything is just right. You had a good one where you said, that the tip-off was, and I've gotten these as well, Ms. Stolz Hank at RadioWorcester.com. Right. Dear Stolz Hank at RadioWorcester.com. That's a weird way to greet somebody. Right. Yeah. Immediately the red flag. Or even the generic ones. Hi, sir. Hello, ma'am. Things like that. If you're receiving emails from reputable businesses, they're most likely going to have your name. They had your business card. So you're you're more likely to know that you're receiving an email from them, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Megan, I know you've got others, and there's other scams going around, including for like law boo-boos and things that I don't know a lot about, these tchotchkes and things out there. But there's a lot of scams that are happening. Where do people go so they can stay safe, so they can get the kind of tips that you were just talking about this morning?
Yeah, so BBB.org, just like you said, Hank, is a great resource. We post articles all the time, and we have various different hubs. So hubs for different business owners. So if you're a contractor, we have a whole website dedicated to resources and scams related to contractors, and then same with plumbing, electrician, and so on and so forth. And we also have a scam hub, which is a web page dedicated to just all the scams that we've been getting reports on our scam tracker. So you can look up existing scams in Scam Tracker. So I highly encourage people, if they think they've been scammed or they're about to be, look it up on the Scam Tracker. See if somebody else has been through that story, because most likely they have, unfortunately, and there are resources there. We also have scam prevention guides, survival kits. So anything you need, bbb.org. Or give us a call, and we'll always help.
Yeah, make sure that you're using that. It's a great resource, bbb.org. And thank you, Megan McBride with the Better Business Bureau right here of Central New England. We appreciate your coming by, keeping us safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, September 25th is our Western Mass Awards. So we'd love to see our accredited businesses there. That is not a scam, so the emails coming out about that are legitimately from me, I can tell you that. And then we coming locally, we're doing 2 Latino business owners accreditation overview with Labo and Centro on October 1st and 2nd. So that'll be very exciting.